Woo! It went down. It went down on episode 5 of Kings of Napa. Did you see that ending? Was the entire. See, I felt some way about Rose, but that's not what I was thinking. And Show wasn't thinking that Bridget child. Okay, we gonna get there. But first, let's do a quick recap of episode 4 because a sister was a little behind. So let's do that. I got my notes right here. We just go run through the high points and we gonna get right into episode 5. You dig? Okay, here we go. So Bridget learns that Sean and Sean are also getting extorted. So that figures if she didn't know, okay, you know what? We go just let me read, right? I'm jumping. See, that's why I gotta remember to start doing one episode at a time, or else I'm gonna do this. So anyway, Bridget learns Sean and Sean are also getting extorted. Bridget tells Vanessa about the extortion by just randomly bringing it up in front of August, which let her know. Dana makes Assets Makers magazine, which he deserves very much. Dana, my boo, don't go there, y'all. But he is still mad at Rose for voting with August on her wine at the little voting thing with the wine thing. So now Quincy thinks Otis is the extortionist because he's got all types of shit going on. He's got a boat, he got money in the bank, and I mean, he could probably be the one because he's in the field in the was the vineyard the most because Christian ass show ain't like he's supposed to be. Um, things add up, and they called the popo on Otis, and motherfuckers they came to arrest him. Otis was like, "Oh hell no!" He booked, but he booked in a car and drove off and crashed into whatever, what have you. He ended up getting knocked unconscious and he ends up in the hospital. Um, what else? The family gets into a heated argument when Dana is having his interview for Assets Magazine. And while they are arguing, the reporter excuses herself, but she kept the camera rolling. And little did the family know, everything that they talked about was being recorded. Talking about the extortioning and talking about, all of the secrets of the family and all that's going on. Stuff you wouldn't want the public to know would really ruin the image of the family. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how you gonna sell wine and they got all this crack a lacking? So they like, oh no, what we gonna do about that? They trying to get the video back. So yes, like I said, try to get the video back. And Vanessa handled that with one call. It was boop, boop, boop. It was done. Now, Vanessa's still feeling some type of way because Dana's still feeling some type of way about Yvette's auntie, Yvette spilling the beans that Vanessa wanted to abort Dana. So there's that going on still a little bit lingering. But at that very moment, Dana is like, yo, my mama, is she here for me? She got my back. And they finally make up after that whole bid. So Vanessa finally got it right. And now she's back into Dana's good graces. So good for her. So Melanie tells Vanessa about a cigar box, letting her know that, Reggie had a lot going on and don't know exactly what it was, but he was ready to whisk the family away in the middle of the night in a private jet. He had passports with their names on it, fake names, might I add. Not real names, fake names, and then like two fat ass bank rolls of money in this cigar box. And I'm like, they ain't look at all of that stuff before. I would have been nosy as hell the whole entire time looking at everything. As soon as I found out Daddy wasn't who he said he was, I would have been all over that damn office. You heard me? Okay. And let's see. Later in the episode, Dana gets the praise and the respect for the family for looking out for the family, and when he suspected Otis, because at this point everybody's like, okay, it's got to be Otis, and Dana was on that. He's like, yo, we can't let this be happening. Whoop whoop whoop! It's Otis. We need to call cops, and that's what you see what happened. And then Christian stumbles upon Bridget's backpack. And when he opens it, he sees a drill and glyphosate in it. I think I'm saying it right, which is the poison that is what's messing up the vines. So there you have it for episode 4. And that was a pretty good episode. I am really enjoying this show. I really, really am. And sometimes I'm skeptical and I don't keep going, but King's got me. Carlos King is the man. That's what I'm saying. Carlos is the king. That's why I call him Carlos the King or King Carlos. Respect. Okay, so now let's get into episode 5. So at the beginning, damn it, Christian. Christian don't fucked up the grapes. Christian is not capable of doing this job. Christian just needs to be pretty, mess around with his little hoes, and spend the money. That's what he does best. And dress good. He's got quite a particular dress code going on, but I'm here for it. I'm here for all of their dress codes. I mean, the stylist, whoever is this wardrobe stylist for the show, A1, A plus, baby. I'm gonna have to find you and give you your props for real, for real. Rose surprises Dana with this nice little spread of all types of different things. And she's trying to woo him. And, because they've been on the outs ever since she voted with August on her wine. And so she's letting him know that, look, I'm going to go see a fertility doctor. And we could be having a baby this summer. We about to start us a family. And it's all going to be good. And so she is really excited. So they're finally cool again, back to being where they were. But I guess, Dana is feeling some type of way about starting a family because he's afraid that he's going to pass on the dwarfism to the child. And he doesn't know how anyone's going to feel about that. Or I guess he feels some type of way about that himself. So he's kind of on the fence about things. He ain't really feeling it at this moment. But let's hopefully he'll come around. You know what I'm saying? So then yep, they hug with assignment and all that great stuff. So Christian tells August about he finding the glyphosate in Bridget's backpack. And at first that's all he mentioned. That she's like, no, there's got to be some explanation. Woo, woo, woo. But he was like, well, how do you explain the drill? Because that's the way you go get the glyphosate into the vines to poison it. So there's that. She had the whole lot in her bag. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think that Bridget is that dumb to leave her. Anybody got your wine? It's Kings and Napa, y'all. You gotta have your wine. Mm. She's not dumb enough to leave her bag right there with everything in it, everything only that in it. So come on, who leaves their bag any goddamn way? I feel like she's being set up, but by who? Which brings me back to that Rose. See, something is going on with Rose. I don't know what it is, but I just feel it is something. It is just something. So we'll see. But I'm loving Rose's character. Shout out to Rose because she playing the hell out of her role. So August is still seeing Kelvin, and she confides in him about Bridget being the extortionist, possibly. And at that very moment, she gets a call that Otis has woken up from being unconscious. So she's like, "Well, we need to go see Otis so he can clear his name, and so she can rightfully so blame Bridget for being the extortionist because." She wants to have evidence. August is trying to play this as careful as possible. She has just became the CEO. She is not trying to fuck it up right away. She know Dana is on her toes if she does, and she just doesn't want to be the one to fuck it up. She don't want to mess up her daddy's legacy, the family legacy. That's the family business. You know what I'm saying? So she is trying gracefully to handle this the way that she can. So she goes, okay, Otis tells her he's the only one. So yeah, so when they get to Otis is in the hospital, okay, he's up, and Kelvin comes with her, of course. And Otis let it be known, look at here. I ain't about that life to be no extortionist. However, I am about that life, and I stole some grapes. And he goes to tell her, I would never do that. Your dad, before he passed, he said that he was going to help me start my own wine and everything, but that never happened. So I felt like I had to get mine where I could. So he did admit to stealing the grapes, but he was like, I ain't about that extortionist shit. I don't do that. So at that point later on, Christian spills it to Dana about Bridget being the extortionist, and Dana is on board with whatever. He's like, okay, if it is her, that's fucked up, but if it is her, we need to get her out of here. She needs to be locked up for this. She ain't about nope, no sir. And so at that point they hug it. I believe at that point they hug it out, and it was real cool. The siblings finally had a moment. You see them hugging. It was so cute. It was so precious. And I really, really liked that moment. So yeah, and so at that point they say that they need to bug Bridget's house, they need to bug her car, they need to bug anything they can. They need to put a bug on her so they can try to see what else is going on. So they can really be sure, is you that one? Is you the one who is the extortionist? So Quincy is on top of his game. He about to set up all the bugs and everything and get it cracking. So while August is on the phone with Kelvin, with Kevin at later on in the point, she discovers bugs all around the house. She finds one behind a picture, under the table, in a lampshade, and she's like, "Well, I'll be damned. Who think I'm the extortionist? What the fuck is going on?" So Vanessa takes Bridget to meet her. So while that's going on, let me take a drink. So while that's going on, Vanessa takes Bridget to meet her grandmother slash Vanessa's mom. And grandma ain't don't play. She comes into the room with this stank face on, and she's already down in Vanessa, talking about with them thighs you ain't ever gonna kill. She straight up just dogged her own daughter on GP right when she seen her out the gate in front of everybody. So if this is mom, you know Vanessa is a different type of chick. She built different. If this is your mama, you know you would type away. If Vanessa got that look, like you look like she could be a slight of a bitch. And we'll just see. Because Vanessa got her own skeletons in the closet. They made a quick point to say something about her past and her shenanigans in the past. So Vanessa do got a past. Hopefully we find out more about that. So after they had met the grandma, Vanessa tells Bridget, like, look, I love your mom. I know you love your mom, but you gotta make a choice. It's either your mom or the family. If you wanna be working with us, we need you here. So we need you. She basically was telling her to choose us over her own mama. And that's some messed up shit, right? That's really fucked up. So after that, the family and her mama auntie, yes. So after that, Auntie Yvette works hard, and she plays hard too. So she's whining and dining this distributor because that's her part of the business. That's her role. So she's trying to get a distributor going on. She's trying to get the wines and all the 5-star restaurants and all that jazz was really popping at. So this little chocolate man she's serving wine to got the titties all out, just pushed, the girls is just pushed up to her motherfucking neck. But the dress is so dope. And her wig was laid. I love that wig that she had on at that moment. And she was looking real good, and she was doing her thing. And it worked. Because later on in the episode, you see her and the distributor coming out the works of the bedroom, kissing and hugging and putting their clothes back on. She sealed the deal, basically. Aunt Yvette sealed the deal. Boop, she did what she was supposed to do. And for that, a deal is a deal. So she sealed the deal and got the distributor. Vanessa said that she would let her move back into the house. And she kept her word. She said, "You back in, but get out my road, bitch," because she had on Vanessa's. She ain't say that, but she wanted to. I'm sure she did. So I'm just saying for. And so then after that, I mean, the only thing that mattered was the end. Back to talking about the end. Woo! I did see it coming, but I did not think that was coming, back then. I saw it at that scene, but oh my God. So Bridget invites Rose to go out dancing earlier in the episode. She's like, "Yeah, it'll be fun. And I'll tell you all about my fertility stuff and all that jazz." So they both come back out after a night of dancing. Bridget don't have shots of Patron, and Rose, her feet is hurting, and they both look cute. Rose had on the cutest little dress. That dress was fit. That was so cute. And they're talking in the kitchen, and Bridget lets Rose in on a little secret. And that secret is that she been knew Reggie was her daddy. She knew he was the pappy. She has known for years. So it was no surprise to her when she found out when we all thought that she did find out. She been knew. Like, okay, what the entire but let me back just a second. There is a moment where she's on the phone talking to Sean and Sean, and she's saying something about they mentioned the fact I thought you needed them for your plan to work, but she was like, things have changed. So if Bridget ain't the extortionist, Bridget definitely got something else going on. Everybody got secrets in this goddamn family. Every single one, down to everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if the maid got secrets, okay? But anyway, back to the lecture at hand. So the girls are drinking wine, Rose and Bridget, and still in the kitchen talking, and she tells Rose that she been knew that was her pappy. And Rose comes up to her like, "I thought you just found out what we did. Woo, woo, woo." And she like, "I've been new." And girl, out of nowhere, but I knew it was gonna happen. They kiss. It was hot and it was spicy and it was real. It was romantic even. I mean, it was woo. And I'm like, oh my God, even though I expected it to come, I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And I'm like, okay, how is this gonna play out? So as they're kissing, remember, they bugged Bridget's house. Rose doesn't know about the bugging. So she was doing her thing. Dana was watching the whole entire time. They kissed. Rose came back, kissed her again real quick before she came back again. She was like, no, let me get one more in. Child, oh my God. Dana was watching the whole time because there's a camera in the kitchen looking right down at them. And he just got this look of surprise and hurt and what the fuck on his face. And I was the same goddamn way. I said, Lord Jesus, why? She just got back into this man's good graces from doing what she did. And now this. It's like, what the entire fuck? Now, if Bridget ain't the extortionist, is Dana that grimy to try to pin it on her anyway because of this? And what do Rose got going on? Like I said, there is something to Rose. I don't know what it is, but I feel like Rose is a major part of this. It's just, I feel it in my spirit, down deep into my loins. I swear I do. It is something about her. But baby, that was one good ass episode. The way it went off just like left you hanging like, oh snap. But yeah, but Richard and Rose wasn't the only one that got their little love it in, because finally, right before, huh, finally, August and Kelvin sealed the deal. They bumped uglies right there on the football field at their old high school on the bleachers. She set it up real nice though. She brung some wine. She brung an old picture of them from back in the day with him wearing his uniform. I'm not sure if she had on her uniform or not. I'm sure she did. But he had on his uniform. And then she stood up. She took off her long coat and she was like, tat out. She had on her cheerleading uniform from high school. And the bitch looks good in it. Okay, all types of good. Yes. And she's like, I think you remember my favorite move or some shit like that. So she gets in front of him and she twerks it out a little bit to him and she's like, ew, okay. And right then and there, she turns around, she sits on his lap, bear hugging him, and they did the deed. And they had my song playing in Vogue. Don't let go. That is my ish. And that was so freaking good. The best episode so far. It can only get better. It can only get deeper. It can only get juicier. And I am here for it all. And I will be back next week. I promise I'm going to try to come back next week, okay? I promise. I got Tuesday off. So I ain't even got no excuse to not be here Tuesday to give it to you the night of. Okay? I promise. I promise. I promise to be here. So that concludes for episode 4 and episode 5. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please come back next week. If you haven't already, you know what you need to do, right? You need to like, you need to subscribe. And please follow me on Instagram. I am trying to get to my 10,000 followers. And I am almost there. I am 93. I am in the 93s, 9,300. So I would love to get there by my birthday, which is March 31st. It would be the best present since I cannot smoke because I gotta drop because I'm trying to get that surgery. I'm trying to get snatched and I'm trying to get more healthy. So, anyways, enough about me. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. Come back and I'll holla at y'all. Peace and love. Love yourself and love each other too. Alright? Be cool. Happy Black History Month. Women support women. I love my black kings. Mwah.